Welcome to another episode of the Angels Positivity and Love Show. Coming to us from Australia, southeast of Melbourne, an amazing psychic medium. She's intuitive off the charts. She does Reiki, she does tarot, but she's got a lot of skills. She's going to share some of that, how she came into being. It's in her lineage. We have Sarah Marshall here with us. You can't forget her, pun. And I've met her now a couple times. I'm a huge fan, great energy. I'm going to just say it out loud. She reminds me of Emma Thompson, super young Emma Thompson. So I hope that's viewed as an amazing compliment. Great to see you again, Sarah.
Thank you. It's amazing. Thanks for having me, and I'll take the compliment.
Okay. When did you first know the universe was super big, thinking wasn't all that it was cracked up to be? Or were you already connected as a kid and you were doing stuff? What happened?
Definitely when I was a kid, I could see, feel, and hear different things that not everybody around me could. And then it kind of disappeared for a while, and then it came back, and it came back tenfold. And it was something like out of this world where I was hearing things, messages of guidance to help me on my journey as I stepped forward into this world a lot more. And it was this guidance of just knowing that things were going to happen, things were shifting for me, and then starting to follow that step by step as I took that journey and knowing that my hand was being held, even though I had no idea where I was going. And it was just honestly something that I often look back at and think how far I've come since those just initial inklings, and especially as a kid, because you're seeing and hearing things that you think everyone else can see and hear, when in actual fact, they, like a lot of adults that I had in my life, were not attuned to it. My grandmothers definitely were open to it, which made it a little bit easier. But once they said, there's something different about what you can see and feel and hear, it was a little bit of a moment for me. And I remember my grandmother saying to me when I was probably about 7 and I touched her hand. I was holding her hand. I was sitting down holding her hand, and I went, "Oh, ouch, that really hurts. Like, your hand really hurts." And she goes, "What does it feel like?" And I said it was like really sharp, tingling pain. And she had rheumatoid arthritis. And she said to me, she goes, you're a healer. You're a natural healer." And I just kind of, as a kid, I was like, okay. And I looked at her, and I still remember vividly, like sitting with her on this park bench. And she said, you're here to heal, and you can feel people's pain. And she's like, just protect yours, but you're going to be able to help heal people. And shortly after she passed, I could feel her energy. I could still like communicate with her in this really unique way. And I remember there was a part of me that was open to it, but the logic mind kicks in and you go, does this exist or does it not? Like, you're still playing with like in the between. And I remember sitting just kind of sitting still, sitting in my own space. And I said, if you're near me, squeeze my, like, touch my hand. And I sat there with my palms open, and all of a sudden my thumb started to like a bit of a muscle spasm, and then the warmth, and that there was like pins and needles again I could feel in my hand. And I just knew from that moment that there was something else, and to start trusting and start tapping in. And yeah, one thing led to another, and here we are today.
I love it. That's beautiful. Okay, let's just jump randomly to a moment along your life path. Was it a dream? Was it an angel in human form? When did the universe step in fully? Could have been saving you on something, the flat tire, stranger with sparkly eyes. We hear a lot of those stories. Do you have one of those you could share?
I absolutely do. And I've told this before, but this was really the catalyst of my journey. So one night I'm driving home from work, and I am, in the car. It's a bit misty, rain, Melbourne weather here in Australia. And I am on the phone. My husband's through Bluetooth, and we're just having a general conversation. And all of a sudden, I heard this man's voice come in from the right side of me, and he said, "Turn your cruise control off, pull your seat back, and slow down." And I kind of shifted in my seat, and I acknowledged it, pulled my seat back, turned my cruise control off, and 30 seconds later, I was car number 5 in a 8-car pileup on the freeway. And it was, it honestly, in like the most insane experience I've probably ever had. And I said to my husband, "Oh no." And he goes, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I've had a car accident." And it was like this moment of like reality shifting. And the best way that I can describe it is, as I stepped out of the car, like I opened the door and I just kind of like rolled out because I was like, am I okay? Am I not? Where am I? Kind of thing. And mind you, this is like 11 o'clock at night in Melbourne. So it's pitch black. And I look up to the sky, and the best way I can describe what it looked like was this peachy, pinky color just above me. And I just looked and I was like, "Oh my goodness, thank you, thank you, thank you." And as I have done, like as I've said that and I've looked up, a car behind me had lost control and it was spinning like, yeah, in circles, going around and around and around. And it missed me by like that much. I'm going to say like 6 inches, like if that. And I still can see the people's faces in that car because that's how close they were. And when it was like, as soon as that happened and I said thank you, the sky was like different again. And I remember because I'd called my sister and her partner to come and get me because they were close by. And I said to her, I said, "Did you see the sky colors? Did you see how at that time the sky had changed? Like, it was all peachy and colored." And she was like, "What are you talking about? The sky was normal." And she goes, "It was dark. It was dark." And I'm like, "No, no, like it was really bright." And she said, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And in that moment, I knew that my angels had intervened in that situation and they had protected me from really harm's way. And that was really the catalyst of my journey, going, I need to listen to these voices that I keep that keep intervening on my life path, and I need to really follow this journey. And that was about 7 or 8 years ago now.
Brilliant, brilliant story. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's go big picture. This is like the billion-dollar question, but this is an easy softball. Is love the fabric of the universe?
Oh, is it ever? I think that our souls come here to learn what it is to love in some way, shape, or form. And I think that at the end of all of this, when we are looking back at the life that we've learned and the things that we've come here to grow through, the core function of it is love, and the fabric of love is woven into every single one of us, and it's woven into each of our DNAs. And some people learn it and some people don't, but realistically that's what we go back to. That's essentially, once our souls leave here, our souls go back to love, that love frequency, despite whether we've done good or bad. They're our human experiences, but our soul experience is a love frequency, and we just come back here to learn that. So absolutely would say yes, love is a fabric of the universe.
And you've already answered this, but do angels exist? But can you explain a take on angels? It may be changing all the time. I know I tried for 2 years to grasp angels and I got this far. They exist. That's my opinion. Do angels exist?
Yes, I absolutely know they exist. 100%. I've had so many experiences where I will literally every day say, "Thanks, angels, thanks, angels, thanks, angels." They intervene all the time, and not necessarily how people will think that they are with, giant wings and, giants, all this kind of stuff. Angels exist in a love purity. You may walk past someone who is an angel in a human form. You may have a friend that just has this knowing and this connection and this guidance that they provide you in the best of times. That's an angel as well. And so absolutely angels exist, not always in the way in which we think. Yes, they do exist in that way, but they also exist in human form as well.
Can you share one more of your stories? An interaction with an angel. It could be dream time, but it could be walking around and another profound moment.
Another profound moment, I think, really clearly what comes to mind is probably one of my first ever interactions with an angel. And I was about 17, and I'd kind of been, struggling with my mental health as you do at 17. You don't know what your life's going to look like, all of that kind of stuff. And I remember getting this download randomly, and the download was, "Don't fear the future, look forward to it." And in that moment, it was like this warmth that filled my heart space. And I kept thinking, oh, that's weird. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? I called my gran and I was telling her, I said, "Hey, this is really weird. I was brushing my hair in my mirror and all of a sudden I got this, sensation." And she said to me, she goes, "That's your angels. They're trying to talk to you. They're trying to reassure you that even though you're going through something that's difficult at the moment, there's nothing to worry about because you're going to come out the other side and you're going to get through it." And, when life throws you all of these kinds of things, and none of us get out of this unscathed from the good and the bad, but when you are going through those things, I will often remember that intuitive download that I got at 17 that said, "Don't fear the future, look forward to it." And that is simply this little glimmer of hope that you need to get through some of your dark times. And that's the thing, that's another interaction with angels that I have had, stepping forward into here and doing all of this kind of stuff. And then another one that comes to mind was that I had flown to the UK to do the Mind, Body and Soul event over there and do like readings and stuff. And I hopped on the bus to go back to my hotel, and this man sat next to me, and I'd been saying to myself, "Angels, spirit team, please come forward, please, tell me I'm doing the right thing, tell me I'm in the right place, help me, help me, help me." And this man sat next to me and we started chatting about, life and all of that. And he just started giving me all of this like wisdom randomly. And I remember just turning my head, and he had these beautiful blue eyes, and he just said to me, "You're going to be okay. You've just got to keep going." And I just sat there and smiled, and I kind of chuckled, and he like gave me space to just embrace that moment in that energy. And I hadn't even said anything to him in that regard. It was just what he started communicating to me about. And then we pull up to the bus stop and we both get off at the bus stop, and I just see him walk forward and then disappear into this like group of people, and I just laughed. And I just can still see his beautiful face. Like, he kind of reminded me of my uncle who had passed away. And I just laughed and I said, "Thanks, angels. Thank you so much."
You've already shared a lot. And if some of that was to go into a very short self-help or just reminders about life, um, what do you know is how I'm going to put it. Not know through thinking or through, whatever, but know through the heart, through learned, earned experience, through your wisdom now. What do you know that would go into that book that you would want to share with everybody front and center right now? Conclusions first. What do you know?
What do I know? I know that no matter how dark it gets, no matter how much your mind wants to tell you that you're not in the right place, you're in the wrong time frame, all of this kind of stuff, your life experiences have been negative, no matter what, there is always hope. And there is always a light that will remain for you at the end of the tunnel. And that is something so significant that I 100% wholeheartedly on mind, body, soul, everything know is that no matter what, you're a powerful being and you have the ability to create whatever you desire through hope and through faith, and just to hold on to that no matter what you're going through.
Okay, there's a NASA astronaut who's wonderful, still alive, Story Musgrave. He said, getting out, let me cheat and look. Yeah, getting out of the comfortable path, that's what exploration is all about. Getting out of the comfortable path, that's what exploration is all about. And I'd paraphrase it this way before we turn it over to you to explain this further or to take us further. Getting out of the head into the heart. What does this all mean again? How are we trying to slow down daily if we really want to expand, be more love, show more love?
Oh, that's a good one. Presence, I think, is really incredible in that we can have all of these moments in time and we can want to be, striving to be the greatest at whatever we're doing. But if we don't sit and be present with ourselves and work on the why or the how, none of it will work and none of it matters. Because if you're constantly trying to find this external point of happiness, there's and you can't feel that in that moment, you might always miss the mark in some ways. I always say nothing meant for you will ever miss you. That's something that I always say. That's something I've learned throughout all of this journey and, general life. Nothing meant for you will ever miss you, but you also need to remain present. And time does heal, but it's how you deal with that internally and how you look at it. And it's like shifting that perspective and trying to make it. And I don't want to sound spiritual bypassing or anything like that. That's not what I mean in any way, shape, or form. It's just allowing yourself to feel the feels in that moment and then consciously making a choice with what decision you want to make in terms of how do I want to feel and how do I want to make life different. And it's getting comfortable, it's getting uncomfortable, comfortable with the uncomfortable. So it's sitting in that presence with yourself.
Nothing meant for you will ever miss you. It sounds like a book title or at least a chapter title. And then feel what you feel. Don't judge. I love it. You've really hit hard in the early part of this interview. So I am actually going to light sage early. We've done this a few times before. Folks at home, if you don't know what I'm talking about, by now you will have, though, if you've watched the show. And this is a good time for a public service reminder. Just hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, blah, 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 but an emoji counts for a comment because people get really shy on this. We will have, by the time people see this, January 4th, I think, of 2026, maybe the first show of the year. Yay. We will have hit over 1 million views to the channel. It's mostly through shorts. We're still an intimate show, is how Angels phrased it, but it will grow over time. I'm going to light sage, and just outside of Melbourne, Sarah Marshall. How can we forget? We can't. No forgetting Sarah Marshall. I'm going to light the sage. You're going to catch it, but people can taste it if they see the flame. You don't have to taste it. Why settle for sage when you can have flowers, ocean, or extra? Extra can be shut your eyes and get light on your eyelids. If there are no limits in life, this will be a question hopefully we tackle later. Are there really no limits? and you're definitely a guide for others to discover their heart, no limits. Are you already getting the sage, Sarah? And breathe through
Yeah,
the mouth at home if you need help. Got
I
some
can
sage?
smell it and taste it.
Okay. And then ask your ancestors, angels, and other loving guides, you have many, to bring you something special. It could be just golden flecks of light, rainbow light around you, glitter. It could be more a feeling. It could be cinnamon in the air. I meant to say that much earlier. It could be something. What are you getting for an extra sensory that is not sage, but related?
I can see gold flickers.
Ah, I didn't do it. You're amazing. You're invited back. Okay. Here's stubbed out sage. Sometimes we have flybys, balls of light. Jennifer Passavant is the record holder right now, although the professor from ASU had interdimensional Jesus's flyby. Jennifer's been on 3 times. I think all 3 times we've had balls of light. 4 times, one time, 3 times another. I put them up as clips on the short playlist section of my front page of my YouTube channel, but she had one come out of a sign behind her and then up, and she caught it and she goes like this, and it's really cute. If anyone at home wants to see a little ball of light go by as you're speaking because you're really plugged in, or you may only see it, let us know. Or we may get it on video. Most of the time, we get it on video. We've had two South Africans, one in Germany, one in France. South Africans seem to be very popular for this. They're very connected to the earth somehow. Allow. That'll be my last little bit of talking here. What's something you've had to let go of in the last decade that has allowed you to enjoy more heart time, heart space, heart growth?
Something that I've had to let go of is expectations of myself and what I want to achieve and how I want to achieve it. Because on a human level, I want to, tick off all of these things. But from a soul perspective, things may not actually be intertwining in that way. And I think it's letting go of being mad with the universe or angels or whatever it is to be like, well, you didn't make it work when I wanted it to work. And, all of this kind of stuff, da 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 da. And it's being okay with things not working out in that exact moment because you trust that something else is in the plan. And if I look back at all of the times where doors have closed and I've thought, oh, this is heartbreaking, life shattering, things aren't working, or why did that happen to me? It's always meant that there's something better on the horizon. So it was almost like divine intervention to ensure that there isn't a change, like it doesn't change what happens, but it's what you learn from the things not working to make sure that when you do experience the stuff that you kind of want or that you've been manifesting or setting intentions for, and when it does come to light and comes to fruition, you are so much more grateful for the journey. And I think the key to learning a lot of this stuff is experiencing gratitude for the good things, gratitude for the bad things, and sitting in the middle with the both of it.
Well, you've certainly earned or lived a lot of experience and have a very big, fun foundation that allows you to serve others more and more as each day passes. So this is incredible to have you on. Um, okay. Most people would ask you, okay, what do you do for folks? And we certainly know you're intuitive and you're a psychic medium, tarot, Reiki, but I'd like to tackle it almost a different way. Can you give us color, flavor, sensory, and almost tackle it as if you have a consultant coming in who's a fun consultant, maybe an angel? Do you feel energies as you walk into a coffee shop? Do you see auras on people? Are you so seeing auras you're like, make it stop? Is it dogs are talking to you and they're third graders, cats are sixth graders, or third form, sixth form? Uh, are your hands healing hands yet in the works? Yes, but only the left hand on Tuesdays. The nitty gritty, if you could. Have you seen an aura on me already, and so on? And you're having loved ones come in, angels come in. Do you hear the full voice with humor and an accent, and they make you laugh, and you try to keep a straight face while you're talking to the client?
Definitely. And I think that's what makes what I do is quite unique is because I can feel and sense the whole aura of a person, and I can in and physical as well as connected in spirit. And when I tap into people's loved ones who have passed, and that also includes animals as well. So, and it sounds silly because it's like, well, animals don't talk in this 3D world as a human. But what I am doing is feeling the essence of their aura, feeling the essence of their soul, and then turning that into communication and love on in a one-on-one kind of way. And um, for me, it's it's making, mediumship and energy healing with a modern twist. It's, bringing back okay, we've got evidence, but how does it make someone feel? And, bringing through, spirit. And often at times I'll get spirit who have got connections to overseas. And I have been known to say phrases in different languages that I actually don't speak. And I don't know what they're saying. And I'm saying a phrase and I keep unpacking what that looks like. And then the person that I'm reading for is like, they're saying this. And I've done it in Italian, I've done it in Croatian, I've done it in Spanish, and, different unique languages that I really don't know. But because I allow their spirit, spirit and their soul to connect with me on such a level, it makes that blending so amazing. So yeah, that's the way in which I've experienced things in the past.
How do you describe your cheerleading squad? Is it angels, loving guides, your ancestors? But how do you like to describe them? And who is one of your lead healers, advisors when you're giving service to others?
Amazing question. And I feel I have a lot of connections to the spirit world, and my spirit team are quite vast, which I love. And I will, set an intention before I sit with a client and bring them forward. And it depends on the energy of the client, by just, having a look at their name on my booking form and going, okay, which guide is going to be needed for what this person needs in this moment. And I feel they change a lot. The one I do use predominantly, and it is Archangel Michael, and he has been with me. My gran used to use him a lot. She taught me how to connect with him, how to sit with him and feel his presence. And I have an amazing story of seeing him physically walking, and I was standing at the kitchen bench and I was standing next to my husband. We were making dinner and it was again dark. It was like sunset dark. And he, in this, it's so hard to explain, but he was this tall gold, it was just like gold speckles all over him, but in a determined way. And he had, in this form, he wasn't even really wearing anything. It was just this gold silhouette, and he walked past the window and I went and my husband's like, what? And I said, there's someone's just walked past. And it was in that moment I went, oh my God. And it hit again, and I just felt this love aura, and I saw him walk past, and he had this long hair, and the way in which he stepped forward, I was like, he's here to protect. And I just said, I said to my husband, it's Archangel Michael. And he just laughed at me, and and he was like, oh, well, thanks for being here. And I literally just said, thanks, angels, again. So to see him in that physical silhouette, because that's the best way I can describe it, is a silhouette of just gold, gold aura. And I just thought, oh my God, this is absolute phenomenal.
I'll put up two photos of Archangel Michael in light energy form. Not that you need them, but if you could off camera, like you're getting $50 to the side, let him hold your hand. He can do that right now. And then, with your permission, the four rainbow pie slices, uh, I got to cheat. Raphael is the highest one up right there, and that's Michael right there. It's not important who's who. And then a direct shot. But if you don't mind, then closing your eyes and let
Mhm.
him come in. You can see him full on mind's eye. What message does Archangel Michael? I think you're already getting a full. What would he want to relay, or what is he relaying for all of us? And you get to be our boomerang, sharing and caring and a lot of love here. And let us know when you've got full handheld, if I'm making English by him.
Yes, I've got
Okay, good.
him.
Good. And then a message. And when you do open your eyes, you can catch extra light around the room. You don't have to comment on it unless you're like, oh, pretty. And then what's the reminder for us all? There's always good reminders for humanity. We're at a very key point. That'll be the next question. Big picture, and he can cheat. I don't like that word. He can help out for outlining chin up for mankind. That'll be the next half of the reminder from him and you, because I think you're very good at this. What's he have first off for all of us?
We need to come back to kindness, kindness for self, kindness for others, and the fear of everything going wrong has to be let go. And there is no there is no judgment in the sense that we think there's judgment from a human level. Judgment doesn't exist. It is the pure source of love. And there is no wrong decision, but the timelines have started to shift and there is good energy entering it. We just have to feel it. The distractions need to go, and the distractions of being disconnected. Connection is something that is so important and so vital at this point in time for humans, and connection on a different wavelength. It's tapping into the frequency, it's allowing everybody to come back to oneself and to feel that love, to feel kindness, and to not judge or be so critical of what other people are doing. But one person can change the world.
Brilliant. Keep the connection with him. And if you don't mind getting, you're not going to share these out loud. Get two compliments from him, and then there'll be a third. But before the third, I'm going to read something to buy time. Get two compliments private and just say got it, and then got it when you got it. They could be just cute. Love the interview. Great job. Got
Got
the
it?
first two. Good. And then before the third, I'm going to read something which just totally jibes with what you've been saying and he's been saying. Sometimes the person next to you or a stranger just needs validation via love and compassion. A smile changes any moment. So too does laughter or a few kind words. Be compassionate to all. Do it. Now, the third one can be kind of filtered, public relations, communications edited. You're going to have to say this one out loud. What compliment are you getting from Archangel Michael? You're busted.
You are the universe and everything.
Aw, see, sweet. I like that. Oh, and he can give you a squeeze on the shoulder, a whoosh up and down that you felt like you're in the Disney movie that was a good Disney movie, old Disney. Not judging though. Judgment is what defeats us. I get it.
I agree.
Feel what you feel, do not judge. Three Native American chiefs said that. I love it. It's one of the few things I can remember. Um, does Michael have a mantra for us? And then if you don't mind saying it three times, we usually do that to close out, but we're not close to closing yet. What's the mantra Michael would like to share? But it can be you, your soul, and him. And then you'll say it three times for us. This is a chance for people at home to like feel, not just with their heart, but they can put their hands up to the screen. And I'm already feeling your energy. That's wild. Just repeat it three times for us and give people a chance to play it over and to feel their vibe lift.
What I keep being shown is that quote over and over again. To the world, you might be one person, but to one person, you might be the world.
Three times if you could.
To the world, you might be one person, but to one person, you might be the world. To the world, you might be one person, but to one person, you might be the world.
Brilliant. Well done. What's something spontaneously coming from one of your other helpers, one of your other angels or grandmother, that she's like, you have to talk about this?
Love never dies. It just shifts how we see it, and the way in which we perceive death is changing. It is changing, and there is a new energy and a new trust that comes with believing that nothing is a coincidence, and it's really coming into that to that world. And I'm feeling this as I'm connecting with my gran, because for her, she's been teaching me that her love, her in a physical form may have changed, but the love actually never died. And if anything, I'm closer to her now physically and spiritually than I was when she actually lived here. So that's one message that I really need to convey to everyone, is that if they feel like they've lost someone, or they can't get through, or they don't know what step to take, trust and feel the love of their loved ones that have passed, whether they've met them or not, or whether they've had a connection with them this lifetime. Feel that love and know that it's there, and it's always around them.
I'm going to show some light as soon as I figure out where. And there was a quote from Peaceful Warrior, the gymnastics movie. I think it's in the deleted scene with Nick Nolte as the gas station attendant talking to the gymnast at Berkeley. This is supposed to be in the 1960s, but it was filmed in 2005, so it's a relatively modern film. Amy Smart, Scott Meklowitz, and then Nick Nolte is the gas station attendant. It's like an adult Karate Kid film. And so the Mr. Miyagi figure is Nick Nolte. And I think they've just been robbed, so they're in their skivvies. And Nick Nolte's got a lot of judo moves and stuff like that. He could have taken them all out. Instead, he just kept giving everything off of him. And he's like, what about our watches? As they're walking away, they're done being robbed. He goes, what about, to the three guys in the alleyway, what about our watches? And they turn and they're like, give it up. He goes, well, I don't actually wear one, but Dan has one. And Dan's like, what? You know, you could have taken all these guys out. Now you're giving away even extra. Then they
Yeah.
give away their shoes, everything. But he says about death, he goes, nothing to be too concerned over, a little more intense than puberty, but nothing to worry about. And I don't remember the line exactly. I was looking for it. Okay, I'm going to show a little bit of light. See, we've done this before. And when I go wide, maybe get an image or something. It could be a bird, it could be starlight. Merkaba, I can't even define what that is, but somebody got one of those the other day. Ascended Master Face, maybe not today. Something fun. It could be just vortices of light. This is the background, but blue sky is number one. And this is out of Celestine Prophecy, the movie, but really not. I had Sue Frederick she was around in the 70s, a guest in 2024 is like, hey, in the 1970s, we were doing this before the movie existed. So in the movie in America style, but in India, they do it this way. It's no big deal. The more important thing is you're going to get a dad joke that you haven't heard. So I'll tell you how I got all my dad jokes. Back at the University of Monash, did I say it right? Okay, back at the University of Monash, I double majored in cloning and hide and seek. I never finished the program. I had to take a year off to find myself. Okay, here's a little bit of light, and then once you say out loud the colors you're seeing, what do you see first?
I can see just this white light coming from the tips of your fingers.
And now ask for an object, ask for something great from Michael and all the other compadres out there. It could be a design, it could be vortices, a ball of light, it could be a face, it could be a hummingbird, it could be anything. What are you getting now?
It's like this it's like crystallized sphere.
Can you put your hands
That's
out like you're in the shower catching water out in front of you? You don't have to do it on camera, but as if you're cupping water in the shower. Let that light, we'll call it crystalline, we'll call it crystal light to make everybody laugh. If anybody knows the powder lemonade, catch crystal light in your hands And the more you're laughing, the more you're letting go. So this is beautiful. And let us know when you're getting the light in your hands.
I I have it.
Okay, and then look down and see it full on so I can stop and sit down. So now it's in your hands. You're looking down. Breathe through your mouth. And what are you seeing in your hands? Ask Michael and your grandmother, especially, to just jack it up even more. It's Boxer Day, New Year's Day, July 4th in America, your birthday, whatever anniversary, and 4th of July, all wrapped up into one. Get a lot of light. And when you're ready, after you've gotten it, you're going to talk in just a second. After you're done talking, you're done with it, bring it into your heart, go quantum on it. But what are you seeing right now?
I'm just seeing a beautiful angelic face of a female angelic.
Ooh, hear who it is. And you're not sharing that part out loud unless you're supposed to, but just hear who it is and appreciate it. And then bring her into your heart and have her explode at the cellular, quantum, and more level. You still have to be able to go to bed tonight. So just can't be up all night talking to the neighbors like, oh my God, I'm here to clean your garage. It's 3 a.m. uh, okay, so far you're having fun. Good. And here's Joy, one more angel. If you could put your hand up, feel her vibe one way, treat her like a fireplace. People can do all this at home. So take a breath, go walk the dog, jump in the shower. Don't literally jump. Hit the shower, don't hit the shower. Get in the shower, turn on a comfortable shower, play Italian music. You don't have to know how to sing. Anything to get out of your head into your heart. What are you feeling and what are you getting from Joy? Ask her, hey, what do I need to know in life right now? But what does she have to share with all of us too? And this is an angel for folks. This is a light energy form. I grabbed a camera early on. Thank God for like the American entrepreneurial spirit.
What I get from Joy's presence is that the external world might feel like it's dark and there's nothing to look forward to, but you have to remember to have fun and you have to have that excitement. You have to have joy to experience. And when you're experiencing joy, nothing else really matters.
And you've hit the nail on the head, but let's say it a different way. You knocked the ball out of the park and knocked the leather off the baseball in American baseball. And the poor kid in the parking lot's not getting a collectible, unfortunately. Um, I'm going to give a phrase, and then I'd like you to tie it into what you just said. And in a way, it's the biggest lesson of all that we forget all the time, and we need to relearn day to day, moment to moment, because all moments can be the same. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. Can you tie that in? And you've got enough love in your heart and life experience for all of us. And it's back to your mantra repeated 3 times. Keep going, Sarah Marshall. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. How is that the key to success?
Because when you're okay with who you are and where you are within yourself, you forget about all of the external problems. You forget of all of that stuff because all that matters is what you are at the end of all of this, and your experience of joy and happiness is paramount. And when you get to that point where you get to look back on your life and you review everything that's happened, you have this an amazing experience and you see what you've done. And just by being joy in a human form, you change other people's lives. And that's so important. And that success isn't, materialism. It isn't having the house, it having the car, having, all of that kind of stuff, because you can't take that with you. It's what you experience on a soul level. That's what you're taking with you. And if that is experiencing happiness and pure joy and love on some level, whether that's you giving that to yourself or giving that to someone else or having the both experiences, then that is so important.
If it's a game show, all the klaxons and the ding, 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 ding just went off. Not only because that was amazing, But also, we'll start to wrap it up in 5 minutes because I'd like to just have you back on again. I feel like you've hit so many important points that our job is almost done here. And so I will have a few more angels with your permission come in. I don't know how else to say it. Let's do this. Hope, faith, or harmony. Which word is jumping out at you, or all three? Hope, faith, or harmony?
Faith.
Okay. So for faith, close your eyes and let her come in. I don't have a photo for her in light energy form, but it should be yellow. Doesn't mean that she can't be 50 other colors. Let yellow light come in and get embraced top to bottom, left to right. And get something private and personal. Just say got it when you've got it. And
Got
then
it.
if you could just breathe really deep, let her come into your full fold, if I've said that correctly. And then as you exhale, use words on all of us from faith and you, a joint issue, a joint statement.
I can't exist as faith without hope. And the key to connecting with faith is having gratitude every day for all experiences that you go through.
Nice. Okay. Hope, peach colored. If you don't mind, one more kumbaya. Close your eyes. Let peach colored light come in. I have a photo for Harmony. Um, have Hope come in, peach colored light. She can be very light or whatever I'm trying to say, very bouncy and fun. And at home, you can put your hands out. You can breathe extra through your mouth. 1 millimeter is plenty of breathing. Some people are professional nose breathers. That's fine as long as the shoulders are going up and down. You're bellowing. We're making up a lot of words. It's all good. And you can feel what you feel. Don't judge. You can see what you see. Don't judge. You want to get little yellow flecks of light. If it goes into your carpet and you're still carpet cleaning a week later, I'm not to blame. And no nasty comments. It's just universal light. You're good. Blame angels. Don't blame Canada. Don't blame me. Okay. And what are you getting from Hope?
The way we see the world, it's changing. And although it doesn't feel like it's for the better, better is coming.
Ooh, and allow her to touch your crown chakra, but somehow at the same time, the small of your back, and then also somehow like your feet, grounding connection to Gaia, the earth, Mother Earth, whatever way people like to describe all that is below our feet. Love and above only. And have her do something that later you're going to try to put words to it. Good luck with that. Have her zip you, zap you, and lots of fun.
Feel a tingling sensation. My ears have started ringing.
And I'm just shutting a door, but you're good. I had a Labradoodle burst into the office. Okay. She wanted part of the action that's going on. So, last little bit from Hope.
Feeling your own energy, feeling your own cup, and then being able to expand.
Beautiful. And come back when you're ready. I'll have a photo of Harmony. Although she chose tranquility, you're not never going to figure this out. And that's okay. Tranquility, Harmony. Here's Harmony. It's supposed to be rainbow light. You could put a hand out and feel her one way. You're already probably feeling her another, but there's no one way about this. And then have Harmony, a very short and sweet message, and get a beautiful compliment from her first. You don't have to share the first part. Got it? Okay. And
Got it.
what's Harmony saying for all of us?
It's time to do the things that you've been avoiding. It's time to step into the version of yourself that you've been longing to be. It's time.
Nailed it. I love it. Okay. Last little bit. I'll put up, do you want, oh my God, what's it called? Tibetan quartz. Woo, lost my English. Do you want Tibetan quartz? Oh, I can't pronounce this. Apophyllite or selenite? Here's this apophyllite. Here's the Tibetan quartz, and here's the selenite. Which one do you want?
Oh, the Tibetan quartz.
Okay. And if you don't mind feeling the Tibetan quartz with all of you, let angels be your ambassador. Oh, and there's a smiley face in there. Hold on.
There is too.
Okay. But I'll have to just do it this way so my arm's not all over the screen. Okay. And feel into the Tibetan quartz. And, everything speaks. If you're from India, people from India can allow for that quite often. But hear a few words. And what are you getting from this particular Tibetan quartz with a tourmaline smiley face?
You are that. Yes, you have flickers of darkness. Yes, you have flickers of moments where life experiences haven't been so positive, but your energy is crystal clear.
Oh, and I had one more quote, and then we're going to do one last interactive, and then we're going to have you close it out. Everything is made of light. And this is not a debate. It's just we're throwing a lot at you on this interview, and everything is made of light. You've handled everything like a champ. Take us, I'll give you two. Take us through these two quotes. Everything is made of light. And in the end, love is what shows us life in different colors. I forgot the Netflix movie from 10 years ago that came from. In the end, love is what shows us life in different colors, and everything is made of light. One more time for all of us. Wait, what?
Oh, another one. It comes back to that feeling of you're we're all leaving this world. We're all going to be leaving this world in one way, shape, or another. How do you want your life to look like as you look back?
Mm.
And there is times where there will be a heaviness, but the light always exists. You just have to turn your mind and turn your attention towards the light and know that the path as you do walk towards that, there'll be people that can't understand it or don't want to understand it that will be throwing things towards you. But the strength that you have to get through withstands anything. And when you get to that point where you can look back on your life and think, I made decisions here that I should have done this or should have done that, it's allowing that space to reflect and give yourself kindness in those moments.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant all over again. Happy New Year, everyone. And we're going to have one last interactive. It's just me putting my hand up in Texas, good old US of A, and down under outside of Melbourne to the southeast, um, Warragul. That's where she's at. And
Where I'm at.
Surftown?
Not really
Not really.
in rainforest kind of area.
Okay. So I'll put my hand up, feel what you can feel. Uh, Total permission at my end, love and above, let angels be the ambassadors here, and so only love and above. What are you feeling? And then if you were seeing auras, what are you seeing and feeling?
Immediately I just feel this sense of rush of love and light being like sent towards me, but your whole aura has changed and it's like you've got this glow of this beautiful purpley blue color that you're bringing through. um Charlotte energy. It's that beautiful connection, and you're connecting to the purest source. And that's what you do every day. And the feeling that I get is just my heart is expanding, and I just feel it like rushing through my whole body.
Well, the bad news and the good news, I'll give you the good news first, is that the bad news is the same as the good news or the other way around. I'm going to whoosh a couple times. We're going to let angels do the heavy lifting here. So I'll just put up Joy, Charlotte, and Archangel Michael to kind of be our cheerleaders. There are so many other angels. So we're going to add in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and your crew is so big. People at home, please allow, no try. Always try daily. Archangel Gabriel said that one. I'll do Yoda's voice in a second. So it's not about the words, they're both correct. Um, do, do not. There is no try. Okay, she's laughing. Now I'm going to whoosh, and please let your heart get just embraced with a lot of love and light. We're going to blame angels, and this time we can blame Canada too. Okay, here we go. And my microphone's down below. It looked like I'm blowing that way today. It's not up top. The microphone's down below. Here comes first whoosh. No two whooshes are the same. People can allow the whoosh to be whatever they want it to be. Here comes from Goodwill Hunting. How about them apples? How is
How
it?
about that's great. Honestly, the words can't express how I feel right now.
Oh, good. Okay. But allow it to be different. And I will put up a different angel. I'll put up Harmony and Claire. She's clarity, but really resilience as well. She's my guardian angel of my dog wearing a pink bow tie right now, but she's never going to get on camera in this office. She'll try, but there's two angels. Let them be your main cheerleaders for this. Here comes another whoosh. And ask Joy and Michael to help you with the words or faith and hope or all the above. How is that different?
It's peace. It's peace on another level.
Okay, we've earned it. Please hit a thumbs up, like on this, and put a couple comments down. If not, which emoji 5 times, 3 times, 2 times, 1 time represents your feelings? It's hard to share on this stuff, but go for it. One more time, but can we make this a down under thing? We're gonna have you go big or go home. You're already home, so let's go big. We're gonna have Job come in. It might be Job. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's traditional healer, shaming, clever man, Aboriginal. You're going to know the right way to describe it, but you've already met them, and angels and others. And here comes a final whoosh. It's all of them to you. And you're going to catch something, though, that's not your part of the country. It might be a vision, a glimpse if your eyes go closed. It might be the dry outback, but the smell after the rain. It could be anything. Here it comes.
It's it's the smell of grounded eucalyptus, which is not here where I am right now. So it's like grounded eucalyptus with dirt, and it's like a deep dirt. It's like the best way I can describe it, and it's the way that we mold it together.
Well, Sarah,
Thinking
there's a good chance people are seeing you recording again, and it'll be the one that they see first, ironically, because this doesn't come out to the New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. And can you leave us with one more pearl of your wisdom? Because you've got a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience, a lot of love, big heart, and you're definitely on the path sharing it with others. So thank you for being here. But what's your last pearl for all of us?
And the fact that this is 2026 and I'm going to give something from the future, it is trust in the divine new beginnings that are going to start for you this year.
Beautiful. Sarah Marshall, love it. Thank you for being on, and I can't wait to have you on again. Angels, Positivity, and Love, the show. Thank you.
Thank you. That was honestly one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had. So thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.